Generic greetings and welcome back to 60 Seconds Reatomized. Today's beverage is Nuka-Cola Quantum. Well, it's not actually. It's actually Vimpto of all things, and actually quite enjoy the beverage. Haven't had it in quite some time. Anyway, in a previous video of 60 Seconds, we got up to day 24-25 with our three survivors: Dolores, Ted, and Mary Jane. We have a fire axe, we have a radio, we have a broken gun, a couple of bottles of water, many tins of soup. We have a first aid kit, apparently, a lock, as well as the gas mask as well, and some playing cards. And I finished that video not completing the game, and I thought, that's unfair. We need to get to some sort of end. So this is that. Let's continue on. And day 25. Some friendly soul on the radio was talking about a supply pack he'd lost during a trip through our town. We immediately realised he must have driven through our street. We rushed out and got to the package before anybody else. +2 water, +1 soup, +1 medical kit. Excellent. That is a great start to this one. And apparently someone really wants cake. Fair enough. So Ted is hungry, tired, and thirsty. Both. Dolores is fatigued. Mary Jane is... thirsty and hungry. Both. And fatigued and tired. We might have to use the medical pack. So, someone should go outside. It looks like it's going to have to be Dolores. And to be fair, she's the only one so far that hasn't been out. She can take... Well, she can't take the rifle, so instead she will take the fire axe. At least she'll have some protection. I don't know what would happen if you took out, like, a padlock. I mean, you could throw it at someone, or lock yourself in, or if someone was, say, hiding in a building and you lock them in, I don't know what it would do. Taking the radio, probably bad. Soup, you could trade, perhaps. I think that's probably the most reasonable, although perhaps the game will fling up loads of different things if you take something stupid. Although, to be fair, in the previous video, we did try to hand over a checkers board instead of some ammunition, and they just nicked it, so there you are. Anyway, next day, Dolores is on her way to the surface, equipment with an axe. So, Ted is still hungry, and Mary Jane is a bit tired there, and we will listen to the radio. I'm assuming that because that rifle is broke, there will be a way to repair it. Otherwise... And as I say that looks like that is now repaired. We were able to tune into some survivalist lady who was hosting a Let's Use program. She was evaluating a rifle she obtained just before the bomb fell. She turned out she was similar to ours. With their tips, you were able to repair it. So yeah, there's a reason why it was still on there. If it was lost, it just wouldn't be in the shelter. So I thought there must be a reason. So... everything seems to be okay. Ted's fine, and so... Mary Jane's a bit fatigued, but not too much of a problem. We played a game of list the things you hate the most, and our neighbour's name kept coming up for some reason. That reminded us that the little weasel had a safe in his living room. We always wondered what's inside. Maybe now it's time to finally find out. But who will do the honour of stealing the possessions of our arch nemesis? We'll send out Mary Jane. I think if you send out... Actually... No. I was going to say, I think if you send out both the adults, you don't have access to the shell, but I think I've just completely made that up, or took it from another bunker game. Anyway, day 28. So we're doing, I believe, quite well. Definitely require washing machine, but we do have a map by the look of it. So, we marched to Ned's house and found the safe cracked open by the blast. Most of its contents were destroyed, but he still managed to salvage something out of it. Ned was nowhere to be found. He likely perished in radioactive agony. All told, it was a good day. +1 map. All Ted wishes for: a few drops of water. Yes. So, water and water. We thought it'd be a great idea to have some role-playing fun and create our own shelter theatre group. We called it the Thunderdome. We spent the rest of the day trying to write a script for our performance. We almost got into a fight over it and decided that maybe it would be best to play something simpler. Mad Max, was it Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner as one of the main people in it? Yeah. We played I Spy, and it was pretty fun for the first 3 minutes. After that, everyone got bored of the letter W. W? Is that... What? Is that deliberately... Is that deliberately obtuse? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Ted isn't thirsty anymore. Mary Jane is a little long thirsty. Good. Ted's fatigued. Mary Jane is hungry. And... the twins are back, and they need our help again. Their group is getting pretty big, and it's time to start building a small camp of their own. They already chose a place about to start, but they require a lot. But a lot of people have There's got injured in a recent raider attack. They're asking for meds so they can nurse their group back to health and get to work fast as possible. We've just got the first aid kit, and I would like to keep it because Mary Jane did have a scratch and that could come back. But at the same time, we have helped out the group before, and maybe this is a nice path to go down, so why not? Day 30, and it sounds like Dolores is back. Yes, Dolores is back. Excellent. We really want the camp finished, so we shared our meds without a second thought. Not strictly true, but there you are. We need to help each other. Unite ourselves against the bandits. Together we are stronger. The group thanked us and promised they would invite us once the place is up and running. How wonderful. -1 medkit. We were glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. +1 axe. We decided to finally check what can find between the rubble of our own backyard. Our poor lawns and flowers. Once the object of desire of the whole neighbourhood, now reduced to nothing more than radioactive ashes covered by debris. We used to barbecue here almost every weekend. The barbecue itself somehow found its way into a power line in front of our house, and it's unreachable. Our garden table is mostly destroyed. Under bits and pieces of charred wood, we found a few things that could prove useful, so +1 harmonica. Might sound paranoid, but we think someone is following us. Again, yes. The vehicle down the street looks like someone's work in progress, reserved from afar. Who could the owner be? We've kept our distance for the time being, but may want to take a closer look in the future. This could potentially be our ticket out of here. So, Ted is hungry. Dolores is fatigued, hungry, and tired, but not thirsty. And Mary Jane is just fatigued. There we go. We will send out someone again. And a sleazy-looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-tile deal. For just one can of soup, we'll get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us an angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? The mystery box. We've got enough soup. I think so. What's our objective? Use the map to find location of given by the military. Await further instructions. Yeah, I think we will do the soup trade because that's a cat, isn't it? That was a cat. We've got a cat. Shakarov. Ah, yes, that classic all-American name. As soon as the door closed behind the trader, the bag started to violently shake, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls. When the beast finally escaped, it turned out to be just an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean itself. The colour says Shakarov. Sharikov, something like that. Sharikov, that's it. So -1 soup. And let's see. We spare some water. Yeah, so fatigued and thirsty. Fatigued, hungry, tired, thirsty. Fatigued and thirsty. And who should we send out? Ted can go. And we'll take the axe. Go! And we now have a cat. I'm guessing that it's going to eat food and not provide us with any... Oh, it moves around at least. With anything else. So... Ted left for the surface, bye, and that's pretty much it. Ration the supplies. Fatigued and tired, and fatigue, so nothing to ration there. So, today, an army broadcast interrupted our, let's just call it breakfast. Anyway, they seemed to be very eager to evacuate us away from here, but then went over several things that needed to happen before they'd do it. The first item on the list is up to us. We were given geographical coordinates and need to get there to leave a sign we're still alive. This should be easy with a map. We have a map, let's go. So, we are progressing down that route. We have circled the location, and I'm guessing we have to leave the map, and the cat's moved again. There's a lot of tins lying around. Quick glance at the map gives all the information required. We left them a message in a bottle. Excellent. So, we... Fatigued, tired, hungry. Okay, and fatigued, hungry. Fine. So, when we look closely at our map, we noticed someone had written a set of mysterious directions in one of the corners. What led to some kind of treasure? Might be worth sending someone to find out. I'll send Dolores out, because why not? And we'll test this theory about the whole... if there's no adults in the shelter thing. Nah, doesn't look to it. Oh, maybe it's when they're sent out on a proper expedition. We weren't sure if we were able to find whatever was hiding in the author of the map's directions, but Soon enough, the pieces started coming together. After an hour of digging at the local park, or rather what was left of it, we came across a working flashlight, just what we needed. Excellent. So, we have fatigued, tired, thirsty. and fatigued and thirsty. Running low on water. This is not good. A gang of thugs started banging at our door, ordering us to surrender and give up all of our supplies. How do we respond to these scumbags? Lock the door. we could use the rifle, but there's a padlock. That just seems to be the most reasonable course of action. Just, no, can't be bothered. Looks like the padlock's gone. Or do we just feed it to them? We didn't think a small padlock would stop them, but it turned out to be enough to discourage the unknown attackers. It seems that they give this whole break-in a fair shot, but ultimately gave up and left. Too bad the padlock is in no shape to be used again. We need to think of other ways to fight off the bandits and other soup-hungry barbarians. We are able to fight off the bandit this time, but there's no guarantee they won't come back. We need to be prepared at all times. Okay. Dolores, what was that? Dolores complained she can't get a night's sleep around here, and she's no longer thirsty. So she's just tired and fatigued. Yeah, that's fine. So Sharikov is still a fresh addition to our little family, so we need to keep an eye on it, and believe it or not, just today we noticed something else on its collar. It seems to be a metal plate with an address on it, and it's not far. Should we take a quick trip and see what's there? Yes, we should, because, well, that's interesting. You could just sit in your bunker for the full 60 days, I'm guessing, but there you are. Cat's gone. Cat's gone. Before we reached the end of the street, we were stopped by two men wearing dark coats and stylish hats. They rushed towards the cat to pick him up, saying they'd been looking for him for quite a while now. Supposedly, Sharikov belongs to an old lady who's rather fond of it and misses the little guy dearly. We shrugged off and went back to our shelter. The cat didn't seem to care, so why would we? Good thing we didn't get too attached to it in the last few days. That's interesting. Okay, fair enough. Fatigued and tired, and just fatigued. Dreadful sounds. Let's listen to the radio. What day are we on now? Day 37. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. No water, though. It's going to go all kinds of bad. Uh-oh. How fortunate we took the radio with us. We can promptly listen to some music. They still play music out there, don't they? It was very unwise for Ted to walk right out into the hands of a gang of filthy bandits camped nearby. He's not coming back. Well, I mean, it's a fairly matter-of-fact statement, isn't it? Not hand-holding in the slightest, where, you know, a policeman sits down and tries to tell them that he's being killed in an industrial accident. It's just like, nope, Ted's dead, he's not coming back. Tough. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep, and yes. That's all kinds of bad. We're out of water. We will send someone out. We don't have much choice. These are dire circumstances we found ourselves in. Supplies are running low, and if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else will. We know for a fact that one of the neighbours had a shelter with a broken trapdoor, and there might be some supplies inside it. Of course, there's a chance the neighbour and her kids managed to get in there in time, but we could really use whatever they have, and we're stronger. Should we pay them a visit? Well, I don't know that there's a family in there. It just says it's a broken trapdoor, so the chances are that the blast has probably taken it off anyway. Anyone who was in there, if they even got there in the first place, is probably dead. So is that my way of trying to say, yes, I'm happy to steal from people? Yep, that's exactly what we're going with. And next page. I've just realised that that map on the back is actually held to the wall with some nails. So either this is polystyrene or there's some really hard concrete punching nails. So we are now richer in some supplies, but for some reason we don't feel very good about it. Let's just never mention the whole thing again. Fair enough. Tired and hungry, and yeah, we have to send someone out, and we'll send them out with a rifle. There we go. And is that a handprint on the back? I think that's basically saying yes, we've done bad things. It's actually just tomato. It's just tomato soup just on the wall. And the cat's back. Surprise, surprise, we found the cat back in our shelter this morning. We're not exactly sure why or how it came back. Is it our good care it appreciates, or our kind heart's optimism, or just a stockpile of soup cans? Only time will tell. Thanks, Sharikov. So, Mary Jane's went outside. Let's see what happens. Dolores is fatigued but not hungry, and two bands of raiders are at the doorstep. They demand we let them in. There's no game. We either yield or we fight back. There's no middle ground here. You know what? You can have a harmonica because we've lost the fire axe, and I've literally just sent out the person with the rifle. Brilliant. So, they lowered down the weapons and cried a few tears, surprised by the beauty of our music. They will let us live today. Oh, so we didn't give it to them, we just played some tunes. Brilliant. Dolores needs to drink sometime. Sorry, I can't. There's a man at our doorstep and he wants to be our friend. At least that's what he says. He looks harmless though and seems to have acquired an extra pair of arms as a result of some weird mutation. He assumes we will not get sick and ask for our help. If we could provide him and the group with some supplies, they would repay us by helping us fight off the next raiding party that comes our way. Yeah, definitely. We should accept his offer and have him over a soup can because we got loads of soup. We just don't have water. I mean, most cheap tomato soup's like 90% water anyway. Anyway, so, whether it was a pity or just fear of bandits, we were not sure, but in the end we agreed to his terms. We will be calmer knowing that someone else is looking out for us, especially someone with so many arms. Yeah, Dolores will not survive longer without the water, and we don't have any water. I wonder if giving us some soup will help. I very much don't think so. Curiosity must kill the cat. Shurikov found a tiny wire sticking out from the ceiling and pulled out of it. Plaster and debris fell on our table, topped off with a big meowing furball. What is this thing anyway? Nobody remembers it being here before. The cat might get angry if we try to take away the wire, so maybe it's best to leave it, or should we examine the wire? We should examine the wire. What's the worst that can happen? She's gonna die of dehydration soon anyway. We grabbed the cable and followed to a rusty old truck parked in the neighbour's driveway. Upon opening the door, we were confronted with two men wearing huge headphones. They looked extremely surprised to see us. They wiretapped our shelter when we were asleep and they were listening to everything we said. We give them hell and marched back to our shelter. Dolores will not survive that water very long. Yeah, dehydration and fatigue. I don't think the cans are doing anything. Okay. The military communicating through the radio again. We're sure it was a signal to evacuate out of here, but it turns out they need our help. The speaker requested that all able citizens in the area should chop down a tree or two in the nearby park. It sounds ridiculous, but they're claiming this will make it easier for them to extract us. We never liked that park, so let's do this already. We don't have an axe, so next. And I think that would probably be almost game over. Yeah, there it is. Game over. It is game over. Right. We're not lumberjacks, and we're not chopping down that park. Maybe another time. Mary Jane was supposed to be back in a few days. It's been too long. We fear something bad has happened to her. If we only had a few drops of water, we could have avoided what happened. Dolores died of dehydration. So yeah, Mary Jane's just came back, and Dolores died of dehydration. All places we could have perished is probably the best one, or maybe not. We survived for 43 days. Not too bad at all. It shows you what happened in the different events. And that is 60 seconds Reatomized. You don't always win, but the journey along to either survival or death is humorous. Successful expeditions. So days survived 43, water consumed 7, soup consumed 6.75, time to defend your shelter 2, successful expeditions 4 out of 6. So yes, Ted and Mary Jane did perish in those, sadly. Items brought back from expeditions 5, no decisions 1, yes decisions 5. So you can see that based on what you take and bring down the shelter will affect you. It seems to me that water is really the most precious thing. I mean, if you don't have axes and rifles and things like that, then the events will really hamper you. But just running out of water, food you can sort of get away with, but I think water is really quite important. Although, to be fair, there's probably not a lot of things we would have survived on if we didn't have if we didn't have the radio, we wouldn't have been near to the end. If we didn't have the rifle, we wouldn't have defended off, and we might have had those water supplies stolen. So I think it's a case of whatever you take, it's never going to be enough, and that's sort of the point because it makes an interesting story. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this little bit of 60 seconds Reatomized. If you like what you see, then by all means, the links in the description. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.